Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And us two American whiskey drinkers are going to try good Irish whiskey for the... I messed that up. Irish whiskey. I went Russian. Irish whiskey. He's very good. No, that's Borat. Never mind. All right, are we done? Can we just not even film? Welcome to Stuff and Whiskey. I'm Josh.
And I'm Erin.
And we are drinking good Irish whiskey for the first time ever.
Welcome to the channel, bringing a real-world perspective to the real-world whiskey consumer.
We're trying Irish whiskey, good Irish whiskey for the first time. We'll get into our background, but I think it kind of starts and ends around the Jameson product line.
It does.
Or single product.
It does.
I've not gone down the line. But we are having a little warm-up pour before we get into our flight of Teeling. And this is Teeling Single Malt, courtesy of our friend Eric David Gunderson here, local Nashville Bourbon Social Club guy. And also, he is the man with three names, and he is also the man of many international whiskeys.
Yes.
Yeah.
He is.
He has a lot of fun exploring all the regions of the world. And we're going to have a little warm-up pour of this Teeling.
All right.
And I've only ever had Jameson neat when it comes to Irish whiskey. This is my blind spot in the whiskey
Same,
space.
I think, that I know of.
Yeah.
I could be corrected, but someone from my past will have to correct me because I don't remember.
So while we're smelling this, typically this would be where I ask you how you're doing.
Oh, yeah?
But I'm not going to ask you that tonight.
Okay.
I'm actually going to put you on blast a little bit because you are a published author of sorts now.
Good grief.
Check the video description below. I think Erin, she just can't leave well enough alone. She always has to have some type of creative project going on.
I can't not have a side hustle.
Yeah.
It's like a compulsion. I have to have a side hustle. In fact, our entire relationship is due completely to my side hustles.
It is. Yeah.
How we met and how we reconnected.
Yeah.
Due to two different side hustles.
And now you're creating journals and composition notebooks.
Yep.
I think you're designing them for the teenager that you were and what you wanted back then.
If I was a teenager, what I would want now.
So it's probably not applicable to you if you're watching this.
Or
However,
kids, if you have kids.
If you have kids, or if you just want some really cool looking type books to take notes in for your whiskey tastings, and you don't mind a little bit of flair and pizzazz, check them out in the link below.
Well, and I've even thought about designing a whiskey tasting notebook.
Oh.
But I don't know.
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
I don't know. Well,
this is a good idea.
like I've just been like creating today.
Okay.
But I don't know if it would be even something that people would want. So let me know if you would want it.
Let us know in the comments below.
Because if not, that's fine. I just won't waste my time on it.
The other reason I'm not going to ask you how you're doing, because if you're watching this on the day that it comes out, Erin's birthday is 2 days from now.
Oh,
you're watching this on a Saturday.
This is coming out in November. Okay.
This is coming out November 20th. Your birthday is November the 22nd.
It is.
And it's a big one. We're really excited about it. So happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
With your first whiskey love, Irish whiskey.
Yeah.
Let's try this Teeling.
All right. I already have to admit I had a sip earlier. It's good. It tastes kind of like soap, but like fancy soap, fancy French soap. Like
an artisanal, like lavender vanille soap or something. Not that lavender and vanilla are in this glass, but some kind of artisanal type soap like that.
Something you walk into like a stationery store and you're like, ooh, this smells good.
Yeah.
You know that smell?
Yeah. That's not what I got on the nose.
That's what I get on the flavor.
I'll have to go back.
Not on the nose.
Yeah, I'll have to go back to the palate. But on the nose, this smells like something very specific to me. This is going to be a terrible note, but when you're a kid and you have a child get sick at school and there's an accident in the hallway and they bring out that pink powder that soaks it up, this smells like that to me.
I can get that, but it's not offensive.
No, here's the thing too though. Like, obviously, kids getting sick is not appetizing in any shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
But that stuff
wasn't offensive then either.
It's not offensive. Yeah, it wasn't then.
Yeah.
And it kind of had like a little bit of like a cool smell to it. I wouldn't call it good, but it's not bad either.
I feel you.
And I actually get that on the nose of this, and I have no clue what that is, but it's very interesting. And it kind of took me back a little bit. Let me get one more sip here.
Okay. I've had enough sips if we're going to have many more sips. So I'll put that over there.
It almost seems like it has like a little bit of a smokiness on the back end to it.
Like ever so slightly.
Yeah. It's really good. It's kind of really creamy on the mouthfeel department. It's low proof. I'll check my notes here all through this episode because I don't know this stuff off the top of my head like I do with bourbon and rye. Yeah. But 46% ABV.
Okay.
About $55 for a bottle of this. 50 to 55 is what I saw. Where are you at?
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up?
Yeah, it's a good price. It tastes good. Yeah. I like it.
It's a lot different than Jameson.
It is.
So it's thumbs up for me too. Let's talk about real quick before we get into this flight. Glass 1 will be green spot. Glass 2 will be yellow spot. Glass 3 will be red spot. Glass 4 will be blue spot. And then as a bonus pour here, we have Redbreast 12-year cask strength.
Okay.
So some great Irish whiskeys here. Some very popular options going down. I'm very interested. We're kind of on a ABV progression.
Okay.
But before we get into this, and you'll see all the on-screen graphics for all these as we sip along, what is your background in Irish whiskey?
I dated someone who really liked Jameson. Mm-hmm. Therefore, I drank it a lot.
No.
And I liked it as well. I haven't had it in a long time.
Did you drink it in things? Did you drink it neat? Did you drink it on the rocks?
I would drink it on with one rock, like on the rocks, but like one.
Yeah.
So it would just kind of mellow out.
That was like you're going out on the town.
Yeah.
You'd be like Jameson on the rocks.
Yeah, and also because I didn't want to spend a ton of money when I went out, so that was a reasonably priced liquor pour that wasn't a mixed drink or something.
That or Bullet Rye.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. My background is also Jameson. I never did Irish whiskey neat. It was pretty much in the confines of an Irish car bomb.
Oh, okay.
And that was that. I did a lot of Irish car bombs in my much younger, dumber days. I love those, but they don't taste anything like Irish whiskey.
I've never done one, so I don't even know what they taste like.
It's just nowadays, in my late 30s, it just seems like a lot of volume to be dealing with.
Okay.
Plus a lot of alcohol all at once. Okay. Like I'm well past those days now.
Yeah.
And if I got time for that, I'd be dead the next morning. But they were good. I don't know, for whatever reason, Irish whiskey was always a blind spot to me.
Yeah.
I mean, American whiskeys have always interested me. Scotch, even Japanese whiskey, but I've never gone down the Irish whiskey rabbit hole.
Let's go down the yellow brick road.
Let's get into glass 1.
Okay.
Green spot.
All
this
right.
is 40% ABV, about $65.
Okay.
Okay, this smells.
I'm going to interrupt you because this smells like banana, and I smell it for the first time.
Yeah, it does smell like banana. It almost smells like a banana and a green apple Laffy Taffy together.
You just saying that because you probably had 2 of them today.
I didn't today, but I might have yesterday.
I did.
But that is what it smells like. It's just really fruity, sweet, and kind of that artificial Laffy Taffy type of note. It smells really pleasant on the nose.
Oh, it's very light. Very light.
Yeah, that's almost like drinking nothing at all on the weight. But the flavor is really nice. That is very approachable.
It's light in flavor, but it's also, like you said, it's light in like weight.
It almost tastes like juice.
It's not sweet enough for juice.
I don't know.
I don't think.
It's not that sweet, not like a really, really sweet, sugary juice. But, I mean, this is like this is going to sound weird, but like this is almost like a whiskey version of like a very light wine. Like a light wine is like light grape juice. And this seems like it's almost like light apple banana juice.
I'm going to say something that's probably going to get me in major trouble in the comments, but this kind of tastes, it reminds me of a watered down Jameson, but even lighter in like flavor, because Jameson kind of has that like punch. Like
Jameson is kind of sharp and unrefined.
This is not sharp.
This is much more refined.
But it has some similar qualities to like after the Jameson, the ice cube has melted and opened up in the Jameson. That's kind of what it reminds me of.
So it's been tamed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
To me, it has a lot more refinement, a lot more flavor than Jameson. Not spiky at all.
Definitely not spiky.
This is like what I've heard people call like a good background whiskey. Like you can just drink it, sip it while you're in conversation, not think twice about it. But then at the same time, there are flavors there. Mm-hmm. I do like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's something I would go toward often, but I kind of wouldn't mind having a bottle of this around. I think this is actually a really good starter Irish whiskey.
If someone's never had it before.
And for somebody that's just not had a bunch of whiskey neat, period. Like, this is pretty tame for us, but man, I can't imagine giving this to somebody and having them taste it and them being offended by it. Like, start here.
Yeah.
Don't start with the Teeling. Start here.
Yeah.
This is super, super approachable. So, for $65, how are you feeling on Green Spot? Would you spend your own money on it?
I would probably give it just okay.
Yeah.
Because I would probably tend to, even though I haven't had any of these yet, I'd probably tend to get one of these.
Yeah. We're giving these out of context until we've had the whole
Yeah.
flight, but we know what we like. For $65, I mean, it doesn't matter any kind of whiskey. Once it starts tipping over the $50 price point, I start to have some reservations.
Yeah, like, how much do I want?
Even stuff I really like.
Yeah.
I still have reservations about paying much more than $50 for things. I have to really kind of talk myself into it, which is a big reason why I don't have a lot of background in Irish and Scotch and Japanese whiskey, because a lot of them are higher priced than American whiskeys because we're here in the US.
Yep.
But for me, I honestly am probably going to give it a thumbs up, because I would buy it to have as something very approachable for somebody that's new.
Okay.
Let's get into Yellow Spot. So now we're stepping up the ABV to 50%.
Okay.
So like 100 proof. And this is 12 years old. I had to check my notes again because I make sure that's right. So we're getting some more age, some more proof, and obviously that costs a little bit more. It's 90-ish bucks or so from what I saw on the Total Wine website. So let's get into it.
This smells deeper.
Yeah. Richer. Glass 1 was light and fruity. This has a little bit more body and a little bit more depth to the nose.
This smells kind of more like a rye bourbon to me. A rye whiskey.
You know what? That's an interesting comparison. I don't think you're wrong. Like, sometimes ryes can come across kind of like like this was kind of artificial candy sweet, but very like muted. Ryes can have a little bit more bite on the nose, but still have that kind of candy sweetness, and that's what this has, like a candy sugary sweetness.
Ooh, I like this one. It's got more flavor. It's still light and not sharp.
A lot more flavor.
But it has a ton more flavor.
A lot more flavor.
With still like nice rounded edges. Nothing is like punching me.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one's good.
One of the things that really hit me when we did our peated Scotch drink through was that the fruit that I was getting in those pours wasn't like an artificial candy fruit that I often get in bourbons and ryes. It was like actual real fruit.
You were drinking a bite of an apple.
Right. And this right here is kind of coming across more with like a real fruit. Like, there's a juiciness to it right in the middle of the palate that is just coating everything, and it's lingering. Like, the finish isn't long, but it has coated my palate, and it's just kind of lingering and tingling all over.
This is, if I want an approachable Irish, I feel like this is probably what I'm gonna pull for me, because as we previously discussed, I'm an intermediate beginner.
I think we said whiskey intermediary, but like
no,
an intermediary is actually like a thing, and it doesn't mean what we're trying to convey. You said
intermediary. I don't say that kind of stuff because I know that's not what it means.
Yeah. Yeah. I say things that I don't know what they mean is what she's trying to say.
Yeah. Yes.
Honestly, first sip I thought it, second sip backs it up. I would actually really be interested in trying this Yellow Spot against 1792 Bottled and Bond bourbon.
Oh.
100 proof or 50% ABV on that. I'm not just saying that because the 1792 Bottled and Bond has the yellow band around the neck, and this is Yellow Spot, but it legitimately reminds me a lot of that.
Interesting. Okay.
I think I like this better than that, though. Oh. This is,
save some in your glass and you can try it back to back later.
I'm quite pleased with it. This, for me, I think you're right. This I would have around for guests. This would be a go-to, like, easy sipper for me.
Same.
That still has enough going on to not be boring. So it's a thumbs up for me at $90. Even at $90.
Thumbs up for me, even at $90.
Yeah.
I would kind of like hesitate, but
it would sting a little paying for it.
Yeah.
But, you know, once you paid for it, it's done and over with.
Yeah.
I wouldn't drink through the bottle very fast.
Yeah.
But as a change of pace, I would absolutely pay that for that.
Yep.
I'm impressed. Okay, let's go on. Okay. Let's go into glass 3 Red Spot. This is We're backing down on the ABV a little bit.
Okay.
We're back down to 46% ABV, but we're upping the age to 15 years.
Okay, the last one was what, 12?
12.
Okay.
So this is 135-ish, according to Total Wine's website.
Okay. So this smells kind of similar to this one, I think.
No, I mean, it could be my mind playing tricks on me, knowing
doesn't.
that it's older.
It doesn't.
But this was more fruity sweet in glass 2 in the yellow spot.
Yeah.
This is definitely, you're getting more of the barrel influence here.
I smell caramel.
Yeah. I don't know if I would call it caramel, but I'm getting more of the woody note in there. And it's nice. It's providing a depth that is welcome.
Mm-hmm.
This is like fruity sweet with like a little bit of proof kick from the ABV.
Mm-hmm.
This is smelling deeper and richer and like it might be more complex.
Well, let's see.
Let's find out.
Oh, it's not as complex as I expected. I need a second one.
The finish is where I'm catching the extra on this. So it comes in on the palate and it hits you with those flavors up front, and then it kind of dips a little, and then the finish swells up. And this second glass here, the yellow spot, did not have that. And the green spot definitely didn't have it. This is a background whiskey. This is a sit down and enjoy it type of whiskey. This is a whiskey that, especially at the price point of $135, that's a lot of money. I'm just going to tell you right now, it's a just okay for me.
Yeah.
I would almost go thumbs down just because that is so much money to pay. And I'm not saying that because I don't like it. It's just a high price point.
I'm going to give it just okay as well.
Okay.
Because I like glass 2 better.
I think I like the extra proof kick and the little bit younger, brasher nature of the yellow spot.
Yeah.
But this is really good.
Yeah.
And I do like it. But if you're not
for the price.
But if you're not, it's subtle. If you're not paying attention to it, this could easily turn into a background whiskey. And I wouldn't like to pay $135 for a background whiskey.
Agreed.
But if you gotta pay attention to the subtleties in this glass.
Yeah.
It is very good though.
Yeah.
All right, now we're getting into what I'm really excited about, which is the Blue Spot and the Redbreast 12-year cask strength.
All right.
Cask strength, full flavored, full proofed Irish whiskey.
Well, let's.
And this should fit more in our bourbon wheelhouse. So right here, we're looking at 58.7% ABV, which is 117.4 proof. 125 bucks, 7 years old.
It smells a little sharp.
With Ireland and Scotland whiskeys age slower because of their climates. Compared, like 7 years for an American whiskey is a pretty good age. Like it's not high, but it's also not low.
Yeah.
But 7 years is fairly young. You know, 10, 12 years is kind of where it starts getting into your age statement. So it's a little young, but you're getting the proof coming up to kind of hit a little bit. So it might be a little rowdy.
All right.
Just get ready.
I'm gonna try it.
I'm still on the nose.
It kind of tastes like you said that first glass smelled with the children getting sick.
The Teeling?
Oh no, it was the Teeling that you said.
Yeah, that's not the green spot. That's the Teeling.
I'm sorry, the Teeling. Kind of, that's what it kind of reminds me of a little bit, but again, not in a bad way. It's got a finish, but the finish is like at the roof of my mouth, not in my esophagus like you usually use with bourbon.
Oh, okay, yeah. I get what you mean. I wonder if that's not the malt, because we're not accustomed to drinking single malt whiskeys. And I don't wonder if that's not the malt, because that's a note that is kind of familiar to me in some of like the Glenlivets and the Macallans that I've had.
Okay.
So yeah, that is, boy, coating, oily. It has my mouth watering. Like I just took a bite of like a juicy piece of meat or something and swallowed it, and my mouth is just salivating for more. That's nice.
It's good. What's the price? 125?
125-ish is what I saw.
That's kind of
That's
high.
pretty steep.
Yeah. It is good though. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up because I do like the flavor. It's got really good flavor, and it's strong, but it's not pointy and edgy. Like it doesn't hurt me. But I'm giving it a thumbs up with the caveat that I still like the yellow spot the best so far.
That's an interesting point. So I think I would give it a thumbs up too, and we'll go back and say which of these, you know, we'll recap once we've gone through the whole flight
Okay.
as far as what we would actually buy with our own money.
Okay.
But I think I would give this a thumbs up too.
Mm-hmm.
A part of that is because I know there's not a lot of cask strength Irish whiskey out there, so I think this is kind of a unique product in the market. Maybe there's more than I realize, but I just haven't heard about a whole lot. So to be able to get one that has an age statement from a known distillery, and to be able to get this much flavor and this concentrated flavor, like it is really, really clinging to my palate.
Yeah, it is still clinging to my
and
palate.
I'm really liking that. I do still like the flavors of the yellow spot the best.
Same.
But the experience in this glass is preferential to me.
I am finding that whatever this is, the finish of this and every one of these is like more in the back of my mouth and the roof of my mouth and not in my esophagus.
Yeah, like
which
you get that Kentucky hug with bourbon and rye.
I don't like the Kentucky hug. So I like the finish kind of being in more in my mouth.
Yeah.
So I think I have a preference towards that.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, you said something that I didn't want to lose. You said something about how it was rounded off or...
Oh, not pointy?
Not pointy. So it's very interesting. You get a swelling of flavor, but it almost has like an alcoholic sting isn't the right word. Like it's not an alcoholic sting, but it is like an evaporative effect going on.
Mm-hmm.
It coats the palate, it gets on the roof of your mouth, and then it kind of comes up through the nose a little bit for me. But it's not sharp. It's
sharp.
weird. It's like
it's not sharp. It's not painful.
When I get that like overly alcoholic note, like that effect on bourbons and ryes, usually it comes with some sharp edges. And this is lacking the sharp edges. It still has that same higher proof effect though. So it's a very interesting experience in the glass.
Yeah, very.
All right, let's get into the Redbreast. 12 years. So we had a 7-year cask strength. Okay. Now we're stepping up to a 12-year cask strength.
All right.
And as far as ABV goes, this is 57.6, so 115.2.
Okay.
So very close. And whereas the Blue Spot was $125, this $80 for the Redbreast 12-year cask strength.
I ain't mad at that. Let's see how
I'm already
tastes.
predisposed to like this one better.
Smells good.
It smells quite nice. It doesn't have the richness that the Blue Spot
It's
had.
a little more on the lighter side of the smell, kind of like these
lighter
first
and
two.
lighter and fruity. The nose belies the proof, or the proof belies the nose. This does not smell like cask strength. This smells very similar to this. Yeah, proof-wise, these smell about the same. ABV-wise.
I disagree. I think this smells a little deeper, slightly.
When I really breathe in, I get more of the alcohol vapors, but I'm not getting any more depth or complexity, which is interesting because this is a 12 year as well. These are both 12 years.
Right.
The yellow spot and
Let's
this.
try it.
Okay.
This is good. This is really good.
Oh, that is really nice. Okay, there's the malty note, that little bit of what we were talking about, the malt, the pink powder note. It's on the back end there.
Yeah, but it's
there.
Good. It's like I really like how these are not sharp, like tasting. They're not offensive. And I kind of expected the Irish to be a little bit more offensive.
No, Irish is known as being pretty approachable.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, if Jameson is your background in drinking it and you're not in the nerdy space of knowing details about stuff you've never drank before, which is something that I do, but she doesn't, then I could see thinking like Jameson's got that sharpness to it, and so you just think all Irish whiskeys would be that way. Yeah. But it's known for being very, very approachable.
Man.
I
might be an Irish fan. I didn't even know it.
I knew it. I'm like, based on what you like.
Oh, yeah?
Now that we're getting into some good Irish pours, I'm not surprised to hear you liking it.
It's really easy for me to drink these.
So on taste only, do you have a ranking for these?
I do.
All right, let's get into it because I have one as well.
It was difficult, I'm not going to lie.
Okay, let's get into it. What's your last place pour?
Okay, well, my last place pour, only because it was light on flavor, not because it wasn't good, is the Green Spot.
Green Spot. Glass
number one.
It is The flavors are great.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not that much of them.
Right.
So it is my last place as well.
Mm-hmm.
What is your fourth place?
Fourth place. It is glass 4.
The Blue Spot.
The Blue Spot. And I have to say, between my third and fourth place was like, it could, like, just depending on the day, I could swap them. Like,
So what's your third place?
My third place is the
Red Spot?
The Red Spot.
Okay.
Yeah, glass 3.
So you like them both similarly or just for different reasons?
For different reasons, and depending on the day, I could probably pick one over the other. So it was a really close call.
Okay. So then that leaves your second and first place. What are those? Second place.
Okay, second place was Yellow Spot.
Okay.
And first place was the Redbreast 12-year
cask strength. Wow.
And my first and second place were really close as well. And
also
I could
a flip of the coin.
Also, depending on the day, I could probably switch them. So.
Okay. So which one would you be willing to actually spend your money on, or that you would want in the house to have more of?
Well, my first place one, because it's like one of the cheaper ones.
Redbreast for $80. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would also want to get the yellow spot as well. So I would want to.
That's a great ranking.
Yeah.
Mine differs.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to let you shine. I wanted to let you have your time.
Thank you.
For me, Green Spot is last place.
Okay.
Super enjoyable flavors, but just so muted.
Yeah.
I would really only have it around in the house for guests to try Irish whiskey. Then that's where our order is totally different beyond there. So fourth place for me is the Red Spot.
Okay.
The 15-year. Really good, but the flavors were just low compared to what some of the other products were bringing to the table. On taste alone, third place for me is your first place, Redbreast 12-year cask strength.
Really? I'm surprised.
And second place for me is Blue Spot, the 2 high proofers, which means my first place is Yellow Spot.
Wow, which
is very surprising.
I tend be my first place on any given day.
But I tend to be the high proof drinker.
You do.
Between the two of us, and I did ever so slightly prefer the flavors in Blue Spot to Redbreast cask strength, but then once you factor in the price, that flip-flops easily. They're so close.
You know why?
That the price flip-flops them.
You know why I like the higher proof stuff?
Why is that?
It's because I'm an Irish girl.
Yeah.
And you're a bourbon guy.
Yeah.
This is what I've learned.
But hang on. The Yellow Spot, to me, that blast of fruity sweetness.
Yeah.
And then because of the higher ABV compared to like the Red and the Green Spot, it had enough going on with it to make it interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And I just really, really enjoyed that. But if you're talking about the bottles I would want to buy for the house, it would be these 3, the yellow, the blue, and the Redbreast.
Okay. Well, I have asked you to buy the yellow and the Redbreast. So
Well, I think like we probably won't buy the Blue Spot just because.
Yeah.
But the Redbreast 12-year cask strength and the Yellow Spot, big fans of both of these.
Yeah.
And the Blue Spot absolutely gets an honorable mention in my book
it
as
is
well.
really good. Like I said, that could have been my third place on any given day.
But like you said, this does make sense. You're an Irish girl. Your name's Erin.
I'm an Irish girl. My name's Erin, even though my heritage is not Irish, but my first name is of Irish
My
descent.
heritage, my maternal heritage is Irish.
Oh.
Yeah. So
look
I've
at
got some
you.
Irish ties.
There you go.
And I love Irish culture.
Well, why
I
aren't
would
you
love
an Irish girl then?
I would love to go to Irish. You know what? On the inside, I am an Irish girl.
Okay, good.
But I would love to go to Ireland sometime.
I would.
Like that would be such a fun trip.
I would as well. That'd be awesome.
And that ties right into our other stuff this week.
Oh, okay.
So
What is our other stuff?
Smooth transition here.
Yeah.
Our other stuff this week is in the video description below. Check it out down there. It's a link to a YouTube video, which is actually a full-length feature film documentary called The Irish Pub.
Oh, you haven't talked to me about this.
I haven't talked to you about this at all.
This is news to me.
So
I have to go check it out.
So the Teeling is from Eric David Gunderson.
Uh-huh.
This flight is provided by Eric David Gunderson,
Uh-huh.
and he also linked me up on the Irish Pub.
Basically,
Put me onto that.
This is Eric's channel.
Yeah.
So Eric, come
yeah.
on.
Yeah. Eric's like the producer, or is it the director?
The executive producer, I think.
Okay, they're the ones that like run the content. So Eric is running the content on this channel right now.
Yep.
And this was a super fun
Yeah.
drink through,
It
and
was.
the Irish Pub is a really good watch.
Well, I'll have to watch it.
It's so if you've watched the bourbon documentary Neat gets a little bit more nerdy into the background of whiskey.
Okay.
There's almost no whiskey in the Irish Pub. It's more about the pub life and the pub culture in Ireland.
Okay.
And there's, if anything, as far as drinks go, it's just a lot of Guinness apparently. But it's so interesting to watch. You know, when I was watching this thing, I actually watched it today in preparation for this video. The two things that struck me from it are when I have gone to Spain. I've not gone to Ireland. But when I went to Spain, you're walking around on these streets and you're looking at these buildings that are older than the state we live in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some of them maybe even older than the country that we live in. It's just a different speed.
Yeah.
It's a different feel. It's a different vibe, as the kids say, if they say that anymore.
I say it.
But this is kind of like that. Like, they're talking about how some of these pubs have been around longer than the state of Tennessee has been a state.
That's so cool.
And it's like...
I want to go experience that.
But it really does tie in kind of to what this channel is all about. Like, I'm sitting here watching it, and this one guy, he's like, yeah, I go to the pub after work, and I get a drink, but I'm not there for the drink. Like, I get a Guinness. I get a pint. He said Guinness. He's like, I get a pint, but I'm really just there to talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
And they even talked about how it was so funny. They're like, you know, this is like in Ireland, I don't think therapists do very well because most people just come to the pub
and talk. Yeah.
And it was really interesting too. They're like, we don't play music in our pubs because we don't want people like distracting from the conversation.
Because you want to be able to hear. You don't have to yell over the music.
And apparently in Ireland, they get all up in your Kool-Aid too. Like,
what do you mean?
They're going to get up in your business. They're like, come to the table. Just go ahead and be ready to tell who you are, where you're from, what your life is all about.
That's cool.
Because they just dig in right from the get-go.
You would love that.
Oh, I would love it. But, you know, like in our culture, like it can be a little bit like, hey, how you doing? I'm good. How are you? I'm good.
Oh, yeah.
You go your separate ways. And that's that.
I'm guilty of that, I have to admit.
Well, I think
not because I want to
is.
be, it's just habit.
I think everybody is. And it's fine, like you don't have to get deep with everybody you talk to, but to be able to sit down and share a pint or a pour with someone and chat with them, it quickly shifts the focus away from the whiskey or away from the Guinness or whatever it may be. And it really does become such a good connection point.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I love it.
Definitely check that out. It's in the video description below. And if you also want to check out how to support the channel, how to be a part of what we're doing here, how to get involved in our online community, it's all over on our Patreon, which is in the video description below as well. We'd love to have you over there, but we're still going to bring you videos every week, even if you're not on our Patreon. That's coming to you for free every Thursday, every Saturday. And you can check the video description for the upcoming date on our next live stream.
Yes.
Which may be your birthday live stream, depending on how these dates fall and our vacation plans work out.
It may be. But if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, what are you doing?
What are you waiting for?
Subscribe. Come on, dudes.
Get your life together.
We post videos twice a week, and if you want to be notified whenever we do post a video, you can hit that notification bell and you'll be notified. So it's easy as that.
Till next week, guys. Cheers.
These were so good.
They were good. I'm super happy with these.
Love Irish whiskey.
Do you like peated scotch or Irish whiskey better?
Oh, I like them both. I was really surprised by the peated scotch.
That Ardbeg Oudale?
Yeah, we need to try it. We need to try them again. We need to try them again because they were really good.